Hi, this is Freddie with Bedliner.com. We have a test panel in this pool of water here. This is actually rainwater. I'm going to pull it out and we're going to see what this panel looks like. Here we are. Okay, so with this panel, we have some sections that are taped off here. This section up here has been sanded with 40 grit, and it has primer on it. See, it's stuck, no bubbling. This section here is also been sanded with 40 grit, but it does not have primer on it. This section has not been sanded and does not have primer. This section has not been sanded, but it equally does have primer. So these are the only two sections with primer. These have no primer. Sanded side, no sanded. Well, we see no sanding and no sanding with primer are giving us this pilling and wrinkling situation. So a lot of times when we have problems that produce this kind of look or this kind of effect, more often than not, what you will see is that when you have a wrinkle or when you have bubbling, when it's been wet or exposed to rainwater, it's because it either has not been prepped well enough or it does not have primer or enough primer on it. Most of the times, if you do a really good job of prepping the surface and getting primer on it, whether it's a small amount or a large amount, it does a really good job of adhering to the surfaces. Now the ones, again, not sanded and no primer, it's wrinkling and it's barely sticking on. And this has not been sanded, but it has primer on it, but it's still wrinkling off because there's nothing to adhere to. So this is part of what we have problems in when we have wrinkling, or if you have any of those kind of effects. This is the test for that. And again, this was sanded with 40 grit, which is our recommended grit of sandpaper to use because it does the best with preparing the surface for a correct bond. So, got any questions about your liner having wrinkles or, having issues or concerns with proper procedures? Just give us a shout. This is Freddie with Bedliner.com.